Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another amazing and fantastic, unbelievable, so unbelievable you will not believe your ears, interview series here on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Today I am talking with Madelyn Victoria. She's got an EP out that's very great, very, very awesome. 5 songs that will just knock your socks off. But before we get into that, I need to take care of a little bit of business here. The Loudini Rock and Roll Circus is sponsored in part by Positively Pittsburgh Live magazine. You can find them at pplmag.com, and that's Pittsburgh's first internet, radio, TV network, online business community and magazine business directory. So go and check that out. There's a lot of good stuff there. If you are looking to promote something, that is the place to do it. It's worldwide with something like 3 million listeners. Also, I'd like to thank my brand new sponsor, Michael Stover at MTS Artist Management and Promotions. MTS Management is more than just an artist management company. It is a bona fide rock star in the music industry, specializing in full-service artist management, publicity, and promotions, and social media campaigns. MTS Management is on the cutting edge of today's new music business. And you can find out more about that if you're a musician. We have a lot of musicians that listen in. You can go to mtsmanagementgroup.com to get all the goodies there. All right. Now, as I said, we are on the line with a very interesting young lady. Madelyn Victoria grew up in the deep south of Texas, okay? So this is like, this is authentic stuff here. In Harlingen, performing and probably for the first time during a Christmas pageant at the age of 5. So in her young life here, she has been doing this a very long time. She's already a veteran. And she sung the national anthem at United League games. She's been to New York and competed in the modeling competition. She's done all sorts of things. She's got a great EP out with a very cool, actually, I really like all the songs on this. There's a great flavor. It's definitely Texas. It's got the Texas element to it. But she's got a single called He Only Loves Me on the Dance Floor. And you guys, that's all over YouTube, and you guys can check that out. Madelyn Victoria, welcome to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so you have been singing literally since about almost since you could talk. So, are you a child prodigy, or did you have training, or how did you develop your voice?
Yeah, well, like you said, it started so young. I just came naturally to me. I've never had any, formal vocal trainings or anything. Growing up throughout my youth, I was in a choir and from elementary all the way to high school, and then in college I did a little bit of opera, and also I was in a mariachi band. So I just learned the basics of everything. But the singing, though, I just would, train myself, I guess, and just practice myself. And my parents, my mom would help me out every now and then with little things, and she saw that I loved to sing, because my mom's a good singer too, and she just realized and recognized what I wanted to do, and it all started at a very young age. Like you said, my first time performing live and in front of a crowd I was about 5 years old, and from there it was just something in me that I just wanted to do, and it was just so natural and no big deal, kind of thing. If when you do something that young as a child, I believe that it just you're not scared, you're not nervous as much, because you're a child, you're just so innocent. So it just stuck with me since then, and it's just been a really great time, a really great ride. And like you said, a veteran now of my singing. I've done so many things and performances. I I love it. It never gets old, though. I don't want to sound like, oh, I've done it so long. No, it's something new and great every time. So
okay, so it's one thing to be a great singer and to sing young. There's a lot of people, and you sang in church as well. But how did you know, and when did you know, or what brought it about in your mind that, no, music is going to be my career?
Yes, I believe it started, I guess, when I was a senior in high school, because everyone around me, started to pick their careers and what they want to do and start thinking about your future. The high school, really promotes and helps out with students, and I was thinking, oh yeah, college, that was of course, the number one thing, and journalism maybe and things like that. But I just thought, well, this is what I do, and this is my passion, and this is what, all these other singers are doing it, and I research how other, stories of how people make it, and things like that. I actually did that throughout my high school years and did my research and figured out what the plan is going to be and what the path is going to be, probably around when I was like 17, 18 years old. And I made that decision with myself, and I shared it with my parents. It was a little like, okay, you know what, they were waiting for that, they wanted to hear it from me, and then then comes even more support from my family. So around 17, 18, when everyone else is getting ready for college and getting ready for the next steps in their life and their career, I put my all and my 100% into this. That's what it was.
Okay, so you walked right out of high school saying, here I am. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going down this path. Now, you did some interesting things in the modeling competition that you were involved in New York City. Was that like calculated? Was this like, okay, this looks like a way to kind of get into the entertainment industry? I could kind of make a splash here. Like, what was that about?
Yeah, I'll explain that. Yeah, it was actually, it started, I was about 15 years old when my parents first took me to a talent search, and they had it there in Deep South Texas at on South Padre Island, actually. I don't know if you've ever heard of that place, but they had some people come down from Dallas, and they were called Dallas Management Group, and also they were association with Barbizon School of Modeling and Acting. And so I made that, they selected me to attend the classes, and then I went on to Dallas, and I did some more classes, and my parents would drive me up about 9-10 hours to Dallas. That's how far away we are. And I had some more training, and mainly actually in acting. That's, the modeling is part of the name of the group and also part of the competition I was about. But what I competed in was acting and singing. So and I did a little bit of modeling, but that was just like, the main name of it. But from there, from Dallas training, and then there was a big competition in New York that this agency was a part of. So we went out there to see, if I could get more recognized, and other bigger labels agencies to recognize me. And I competed in also soap opera and acting, and I got third runner-up overall. And people were, move to New York and agencies and sign here, sign there. But I was only 16, and my parents, I grew up very grounded and on values that my parents just instilled in me, and I felt like it was a little too soon, and my parents also, thought it was a little too soon for me to move out there and get up there just yet, because eventually my faith is I'm gonna make it either way. So the experience though was great, and competing and also that singing competition that they had there, I won I won that grand prize or whatever, and it was a really great experience. And how, yes, it does all kind of intertwine with entertainment, and how to get started, and you get the ideas rolling, and you get the feel of what it is to be around the entertainment industry, and especially something so big in New York, and all these agencies and advice that I got from them. So it was a really good time.
So you feel like this experience kind of like gave you like an early taste of kind of like where you were headed, but you were like, hey, I'm still quite not there. I'm still, 15? Is that what you said?
Yes, I was 15, and then I turned 16 once we went to New York. So, but when I started off with the agency in Dallas, so
that's a lot to ask of a 16-year-old. Like, we're just going to take you away.
Yes.
So, and I'm sure your parents, and that they obviously made the wise decision, and you're absolutely doing great for it. No, but your heart is really in country music, right?
Yeah.
Now
totally.
You love okay, no, that's fine. I have some questions to ask you about this. What is it about country music that you love so much?
When I, was younger and growing up, my dad and my mom, of course, but they influenced me a lot in music. Both sides of my family are really musical, but my mom's side especially. And my dad would listen to a lot of 90s country. I was born in 1990, so listening to that, one of the first country songs that I really realized and paid attention to was Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn. And you could kind of hear that style in my stuff, that 90s little style in there, something that you can hear. But it's just been within me. I would hear the steel guitar and the fiddle growing up, and when I was a little girl, I would pretend I was playing fiddle and steel guitar and pretend band that it was going on. And I would see, Alan Jackson on the TV. My parents always had it on CMT and GAC, and I would watch these singers. And also LeAnn Rimes was also somebody that I would watch and try to sing like, and singing in the shower to LeAnn Rimes, and just
so you
singing her song.
You were immersed in this music, so it was like all around you.
Yes. My whole family loved it. I mean, I would get together with my cousins and with my uncles, and they were very talented musicians, and they would play, Hank Williams Sr., they would play Tear in My Beer was actually one song that always stuck with me when I was a little girl, and it was just so, rhyming and so cute and stuff, and I just thought, I just loved it. The words are a little funny for a little girl to be singing, but, I mean, I would think that was a little odd. But, again, being an innocent child, my cousins just thought it was hilarious, and I would sing along with them there around the campfire, and it was just, it's just a lifestyle that's been a part of my family. All my whole family are country, we go out hunting, and fishing is my favorite thing to do with my family, and always outdoors, and here in Texas, and, the small towns and things that we all relate to, and the stories that we hear in the music, and especially the steel guitar and fiddle is just something that just feels like home to me. When you come home from a long trip and you're just like relieved when I hear music, it's that the country music is that same feeling.
So your parents were obviously sort of mentoring you along the way. What about influences? I mean, were there artists? Now you mentioned LeAnn Rimes, but were there other artists that that you were really like, wow, this person's sound or style is just really resonates with me, and you feel kind of maybe you're a little influenced by them?
Yes, definitely have two major influences. One of them is George Strait. I know, I'm pretty sure everybody loves George. You can't lie with those number one hits, and at a young age I would hear him on the radio, and also interviews that I heard. One of the first interview, probably I'm going to say like 13, 14 years old, actually when I first started songwriting, when I heard George Strait on the radio talking about how he and his group and his team picks a number one song. And, he does write, and he did write a couple songs back in the day, but majority of the time he was getting those number one hits and picking those songs, and I heard his little formula to how to do that. And, first he loves to hear the melody first, and if he likes it, then he'll hear the music, and then if he likes that, then he'll hear the lyrics, and if it's all together in one, then that's a hit. So I write the same way that he was basically giving advice on the radio to other songwriters, and also, just his image and what he did in the country music industry was just great. And I hope to one day, for him to mentor me one day, and for him to, I actually have a song that I would love for him to sing with me in. And another influence of mine is Johnny Cash. That one I kind of like, the George Strait my dad loved, so that was another one that my dad kind of, the music was always playing the most, and I just kind of went from there. But Johnny Cash's, I kind of looked up on my own and saw him playing, of course on TV and all his older stuff, and I just was just so drawn to learn about his life. And also he reminded me, he's kind of like George Strait to me would be kind of like a father figure. My dad, loved it, and then Johnny Cash is kind of like he reminds me actually of my grandfather, and that just that, I don't know, that manliness and that strong, bold image in country music, and in his life, and the truth in his life, and the struggles is so real. And I just, I'm learning about his life actually in different biographies that I'm reading, and also in his music. I have all his songs, and we share the same faith as well. He was very open about his faith in his gospel albums, and also when he's quoting scripture in his songs. And I just think that that's just something that, I gravitated to and I loved. So those two for sure, George Strait and Johnny Cash.
Okay, and you are, and if I'm not mistaken, the record you're looking at on the cover of your record is George Strait, correct?
Yes.
I was looking at that and going I think it's George Strait. I didn't have a really big picture of it, I'm just looking at it online. But that's right. That is a George Strait. Which record is it? Do you know? Remember?
I have a lot. So that one, let's see, is it Fort Worth? Never crosses my mind. I think it's that one.
You think it's that one?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so you being a Texas girl, there's a lot in the music industry. There's a lot of, not a lot, but when people talk about sort of Americana music, there's a talk about the Texas sound, the 13th Floor Elevator, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, all kind of people, Townes Van Zandt, all kind of people have kind of come out of that area and kind of put their imprint. And, you know, you guys do rock your own way, you do blues your own way, you do country and western swing your own way. You all sort of have a sort of flavor to it. Now, do you feel part of that? Do you feel like you have that influence in your sound?
Yes, I do. I love the Texas music scene that we have here. I love going to Austin and hearing the live music and the different musicians that I met along the road. I've shared the stage and opened up to some acts here in Texas that are part of the Texas music scene and Texas country and all that, and getting to know them and the musicians and actually having them play on my record for me. You know, the more well-known musicians that I'm not, the studio musicians that I hired, a part of other bands that are in the Texas music scene. It was just really great to have them on there and really have their also intake of the Texas, you know, flair into that. So you can hear that in my songs from them directly and you know, from our producing and all that. And also, you know, an influence for me, you know, actually a band that came out, you know, that's really hot right now nowadays is a band called Turnpike Troubadours. And they're actually from Oklahoma, but they're a part of our, you know, the Texas scene. They come out here and they have such an influence in Texas, and that's just one that I mean, they're a really great band and I love. And also Aaron Watson is another one who, you know, he's a honky tonk kid, and that's what he's been known for, and he just has done so well for himself. And going to his album #1 on iTunes without, you know, any major record label, and also sharing the stage with him a couple times, and now another one we're have a show with him in February. And it's just looking and listening to these musicians here in Texas and the lifestyle we have here, and definitely in my music, I believe.
How do you approach songwriting? Are you sitting around kind of thinking of ideas all the time, or do you sit down and collaborate with people? How does that work for you?
It's a lot of different things in one. You know, I started songwriting when I was a lot younger, 13, 14, just different, you know, poems and lyrics, and it just grew from there as soon as I started learning the guitar. And recently we started co-writing with some people up in Nashville, and my brother is probably, you know, the most, the one that I write with the most. He's always with me, and he's my guitar player. And my little brother, you know, just about 3. Everyone thinks he's my older brother. He's a lot bigger than me and taller and just older looking. But anyway, he's my co-writer, and like I said, we started co-writing. But mainly, you know, I get a lot of influence from nature and being outdoors, and I have a big pasture behind my home, and just looking out there and getting the influence from straight, I believe, you know, in my faith, directly from God, and also people's stories and lives and people I meet on the road. Any little thing that I could take a part of this life and put it in my music is just something I wish I could, you know, share with everybody.
You mentioned getting to play with some people. Give us a few highlights so far from your career.
Yes, yeah, definitely. You know, I can say the top 2 of my favorite shows that I've had with is Zach Brown Band. That was amazing. He's what an amazing band overall. They're just so talented and so gifted. And to be a part of their show and to be selected by their group of people to open up for them is just an honor and a blessing. And it was a really great learning experience, you know, out of all these big shows that I do and that I've done, a lot of them, I learned so much, you know, and it's preparing me for you know, for when I'm out there and getting those big shows. And then the second one, which was just even greater for me because he said to share the show with a legend in country music, Charlie Daniels Band, is just amazing and an even bigger learning experience. And actually getting to have a conversation with Charlie Daniels and just, oh man, it was just so surreal just getting to talk to him and actually talking to him about another artist from my hometown who was making it big in Nashville, Freddie Fender.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from my hometown, and I mean, we played. People always talk about, oh, Madelyn Victoria playing at the same places as Freddie Fender, and she got started at the places that Freddie Fender, you know, sang at, and then getting to talk to Charlie Daniels at the show about him, and him telling me little stories, you know, about their days in Nashville together, because they were, you know, from what he says, they're really good friends. And it's just amazing and just a blessing, and why I know where I'm at right now is a good thing, and I just got to keep on going.
So, so Freddie Fender from Harlingen. He's actually from Harlingen. Am I saying it right?
Harlingen, but actually,
Harlingen.
I grew up in San Benito, Texas, and that's
okay.
Just, you know, I play in Harlingen a lot. You know, that's another town right next to my town.
I got you. You're all sort of connected. I understand. So So how did the EP come about, and do you have plans to do a full-length record? What's coming up for you?
Yeah,
it's
the
kind
EP
of like two
right
questions
now.
in one.
I got it. Yeah. The EP it started off, it's been a while that I've had it, but I've been waiting and looking for the right people to help me out and promote it, and I got him. Michael Stover's been doing an amazing job, and also Star One Records, and really pushing this EP that I have right here, and also my single. And I'm really thankful for all that, and we're looking into the future. Like, summertime, I hope I can record my first full-length album. I have a lot of material that I'm ready to get out there. I do have another song on YouTube that people can listen to that I'll be recording really soon. And in my live shows, a lot of people who are like, come on now, when are you going to record this one? When are you going to record that one? Because I play a lot of my originals live and stuff that I don't have recorded yet. So I'm getting stuff, together and getting it out there, and trying to find the right people and the producers that I want. And I like to have a lot of say in what I do and what I love, because I put my all into this. And so I'm really excited on getting some new stuff out there for people. But for right now, they can get my stuff, and hear it. It's all over the internet. So I'm excited about people listening in and all that.
Okay, so in the meantime, what are you doing? Are you on tour? Are you playing locally? What's going on, and how can we find you?
You can find me on my website. I'm always putting up, my shows and where I'm playing at. I'm starting to get more around, Texas is huge. So just to get out there and get out of my region, I'm all over South Texas, and now I'm going to get into, mid-Texas. We're playing a lot in San Antonio, New Braunfels, and San Marcos area, everybody. So whoever is listening in can check me out there. And also I'm about to go on my first radio tour up in December into January. So I'm super excited on meeting more and more people and getting and really promoting my stuff, and hope to be going on tour really soon next year, all over the U.S. And right now, I book myself, so I'm waiting for that big booking agency to come around. But, I do all my stuff, and I'm excited to meet and get to know a lot more people in my music.
And Madelyn's website is MadelynVictoriamusic.com. And you guys can go and get all the information there. And as she said, you can go to YouTube. There's a lot of you have a decent YouTube presence, don't you? You have a lot of videos from shows and stuff like that.
Yes. I have my music video on there. I have different covers that I'm covering right now. We have this one that's been doing really good to people, about 40,000 views, is Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. With a little twist, we have an accordion on there, which is pretty cool. That a lot of people seem to like that.
Awesome. So everybody go to MadelynVictoriamusic.com and get there's a link immediately to the YouTube video for He Only Loves Me on the Dance Floor. You can check that out. There's a shop there where you can get music. You can get her on iTunes. That's where I listen to a lot of her stuff. And you're on the platform. You're on Spotify.
Yes, I am. I'm on Spotify.
And because I found you on the Rdio app as well. So I found that. So you can find her on Spotify and Rdio. Madelyn, anything you'd like to add before we roll on out of here?
No, I just want to say thank you, guys, for listening in, and thank you so much, Lou, for having me. And I hope to get to know more people, and I hope everyone continues to support and like my stuff, and just thank y'all.
All right, and that is, once again, MadelynVictoriamusic.com. And again, there's links to all her social media right there. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Positively Pittsburgh Live, and MTS, Michael Stover and MTS Management. That's mtsmanagementgroup.com. Madelyn, you have a great day. Or do you have a gig tonight or anything?
Actually, I have a gig tomorrow, so I'm going out to a concert tonight to go, check it out. But tomorrow I'll be playing at this bar here in San Antonio, Retox Bar. So maybe we'll see some people out there.
There you go. Very good. All right. Well, you have a great rest of the day, and we'll stay in touch. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.